My name is Andrew Callum, and this is my story. So, I started to come to New Life maybe around 2006. I visited a few times um, with my brother. Actually brought me here. I didn't know about this church. We were new from New York, and I started hanging out with BJ. And as we hung out, I found out, he played music at his church, and so I started coming around, hanging out. We hung out a lot, so was around New Life a lot, but not really in the church, really. But I just hung around it. More and more coming around, I got to know people. Met Sister Davy, met Pastor Davy. Eventually, I met Pastor Collins as well, and a lot of things happened in between me being around and just coming to here. And I remember when I finally really had a good talk with Pastor Collins one time. He told me about how God had a calling on my life and how God wanted to use me and things like that. But at that time, I was a total mess. And I looked at him, and I had trust issues. And when I looked at him, I told him, I said, hey, if you're telling me all this stuff about what God wants to do in my life and God is calling me and things like that, I told him, I said, hey, you're saying that you'll be there for me. And if you're saying that, I'm really looking for you to be there for real. And, he said it again that, yes, I'm here for you whenever you need me. I'm just a phone call away. Just reach out, different things like that. And I took him at his word for it. And for a while, at first, I didn't really say much or do much. I still kept coming around and hanging around. But as I started coming around more also, I got more familiarized also with Bishop and Sister Davy. And once I really met them and got in tune with them, it was like a second home without even being a member here, I guess you could call it. Pastor Davy, all the time was just like, son, you gotta get yourself together, things like that. And Sister Davy took me literally like another son, and it meant so much to me because, I do have a mother and a father that raised me around and in the church and things like that. But there was something different about when we connected, and it really meant a lot to me to know that someone that didn't know me or someone that wasn't around me growing up and knowing my ins and outs actually really cared and loved me. And in between that time, after a few years, I still was coming around. And it's funny because even this time when I was getting in trouble and Sister Dave would call me and say, all right, baby, you need to go home. And I'm like, how you know what? I say, you know what? I'm not going to even say anything. Yes, ma'am. And, our relationship grew there. And also with Pastor Collins, he checked in on me. And there's times when he's called me when I was obviously getting myself in nonsense. And he's like, son, the Lord won't even let me sleep. You need to get home. And I'm like, you know what? What is going on? Like, I just, it blew my mind, the fact that they were so, number one, in tune with God, that they were able to hear from God about me, and the fact that God was still dealing with me through them as well meant a lot to me. And after that, I really kind of started to get myself together, and more as time passed. And I'm sitting here as living proof that when you have a family that loves you, that cares about you, that supports you, that pours into you, when you're good, when you're bad, when you're up, when you're down, family that's real family, that never turned their back on you. I'm living proof that it works. I'm living proof that love really conquers all. And that's the main reason why I'm sitting here today.